Hey guys, what's up? I'm just right here doing my vlog for Project 9. We just finished doing our Ewan Franco reading, and this week we had to do read 5 chapters again. And the first of these being Stolen Pieces, which was all the stolen pieces of artwork that Ewan Franco had collected over a 2-year span in the late 90s. And this chapter posed the question of what you think about art. Is it, and its value, does it increase as it shows its history, like through the years, if it becomes worn, or is it better to be in its original form as intended by the original artist? And I think it depends um, on what the art is exactly, because when you look at a masterpiece like um, Michelangelo's David, I don't think you would want that to be obstructed or something or anything negatively done to the original work of art. But if someone recreates it and it changes it, then that makes it okay. But like for other works of art that are originals, I think it is fine to alter them, because as we grow up in our current generation and then we experience newer generations, we see the times and the differences that there is, and allowing new artists in these new generations to alter previous artists' works of art, it just makes it better, because we see how our perspectives are now compared to the old days, and I think that artists are always looking for that, and I don't think they would actually mind if that would happen. But what even Franco did, I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually something good. They commemorated all their stolen pieces, and they never really told anybody until like 14 years later. And I think you do appreciate it more when it is altered. Like, we're gonna go to Venice to paint on the graffiti walls. Let's say that someone had painted this magnificent mural on the graffiti walls and nobody ever wrote over it or added anything to it. That would be cool at the beginning, but then over time it would be lame. But since people continuously add on to other people's works, that's what makes it better and more interactive. And that's what ultimately art is. And what you and Frank will think about the concept of original art. They don't really like that idea. They think that original art is overrated, and they actually feel that a work of art does not reside in the object, but actually in the system of relationships it gives, and that's a direct quote from the book. It gives rise to. So that's what I was explaining, how art is should be an woven experience between people, and that's what I think that they wanted it to be. And what the dark twist behind Darko Maver's art is that he tries to depict murder victims from like the Balkan Wars and the former Yugoslavian Wars, and he exposes the brutality of war, and also tries to satirize like politics and the politically incorrect artist views that he has. So he examines violence also on different levels, and he shows like how war and war crimes can show like these gruesome pictures, but it also represents a revelation of the dark unconscious, like he says it. Like, people are always thinking about this, but they never really depict it, and he does. Um, as for the fake plaque that Ivan Franco posted in a building in Italy, what they're criticizing is that in this Italian city, almost all the buildings have plaques, and then the reason for this is that they want to try to gain tourists. So like, they say, oh, this in this building, Pope so and so recited, and then in this other building, this artist was born and raised in this building. So basically, almost every building has some sort of significance, and they do this because their economy thrives on tourism, and that's a way to gain more tourists. And what even Franco did was that they actually posted a fake plaque on a building that said, "This is an ordinary building. There's absolutely nothing different or unique about this. No one special's ever lived here, been here, died here, and that was uh, a way of pointing fun at that. And what they're trying to say about history is you that we write our own history. History is written by the victor, and in the case of this Italian city, I guess, they're writing their history like they're saying, oh, this person lived here, but can anybody really write anything they want? Yes. Like they're saying that history can be written by the victor. Like they're saying that it's not something given. It's sometimes like a book, because you could just make up stuff, and then if no one ever finds out that that's not really what happened, then they're gonna think it's reality. And as for the next chapter we read, about their 6 o'clock, it's always 6 o'clock. That exhibition, their main themes are about like remixing, again, not really copyright, but just appropriation of art, like taking someone else's art and making it their own, like with all these action figures and toys from Disney and Marvel and DC Comics and all this. They're trying to create some new form of art, just like we saw in the first few weeks of class with Listomania, how the Brat Pack remix is remade all um in various cities, but they're using toys here and they're trying to depict a new set form of art, and they're saying that culture can die if it becomes cliche, so it's always trying to reinvent itself, and that's another part of it. And as for the next chapter, which happens to be the last, it says, what about the Euro Hollywood? What that chapter is trying to say is what they were trying to do with that was trying to create a false advertising campaign. No, they were trying to create an advertising campaign for a false movie, and it actually sounds pretty cool. Like if it were a movie, I would like to see it, but or a video game, it would be a cool video game. But what they're saying is that they're essentially selling a non-existent product, and they're saying that um, Hollywood usually always does this. They create new brands, new intellectual properties, and they just exploit this until like there's they just try to make as much money out of it. Like there's no more good original ideas. Like everything, or maybe what they're also trying to say is that um, a lot of violence and war is a focus of Hollywood. So that's basically a sum up of what we read this chapter, and I'm signing out, guys.